let your sorrow end. It is better for us all to avenge our friends, not mourn them forever. Each of us will come to the end of this life on earth. He who can earn it should fight for the glory of his name. Fame after death is the noblest of goals. Beowulf said this, and this was the philosophy by which he lived. You can find this quote in lines 1383 through 1389. Beowulf was in pursuit of the heroic ideal. All medieval warriors pursued the heroic ideal. The heroic ideal was simply this, that your name survive your death. I'd like to read to you what Howell Chickering says in his dual language edition of Beowulf. Howell Chickering says, in terms of the heroic life, to achieve a place in such a world, and he's talking about the medieval world, a nobleman had to rely on his own personal strength, which was always an ambiguous force for others' good. The Anglo-Saxons believed that life was a struggle against insuperable odds and that a man's lot would be what it would be. Even in the early pagan days, they do not seem to have believed in a supernatural conception of destiny. Their lot simply meant what happens. Perhaps it was precisely because life was potentially meaningless that they looked to the heroic notion of personal fame to find the strength to resist their lot in life. The Anglo-Saxons had an incomparable sense of the transience and pointlessness of life. Only a man's name lived on, and then only in the mouths of others, usually the poets. Therefore, we see Beowulf pursued fame. He wanted his name to live on. Why else would a Geat travel to Danish soil to go and fight a monster? This monster, it's been rumored, has been plaguing Herod for years, killing anyone who dared stand up to it, who dared defend Herod against him. So why would Beowulf travel to go and fight Grendel and to rid Hrothgar of his monster problem? Well, to pursue the heroic ideal, to pursue fame. What better way to earn fame than to get rid of a monster that no one seems able to defeat? We see, in fact, Hrothgar saying this to Beowulf after Grendel's death. This is on lines 953 through 954. Hrothgar says, "Glory is now yours forever and ever. Your courage has earned it, and your strength." So he recognizes that Beowulf is going to become well known for for fighting Grendel, for defeating Grendel. He has this glory. We see when Beowulf is fighting Grendel's mother, and this is from the narrator, this is lines 1529 through 1536, Beowulf longed only for fame, leapt back into battle. He tossed his sword aside, angry. The steel-edged blade lay where he dropped it. If weapons were useless, he'd use his hands, the strength in his fingers. So fame comes to the men who mean to win it and care about nothing else. Beowulf cared about nothing else but fame. He wanted that fame. He wanted his name to live on. After defeating Grendel's mother, Hrothgar says this of Beowulf. This is lines, beginning at about line 1700. Hrothgar says, "What I say, speaking from a full memory, and after a life spent seeking what was right for my people, is this. This prince of the Geats, Beowulf, was born a better man. Your fame is everywhere, my friend, reaches to the ends of the earth, and you hold it in your heart wisely." So he recognizes Beowulf has this fame, and that's right before Hrothgar goes on to lecture Beowulf about pride and warns Beowulf. He recognizes in Beowulf he has that fame, he has the admiration of other men, but he warns Beowulf to check his pride. He does not want him to become a king or a ruler like Hermod. So again, Beowulf was pursuing the heroic ideal. That's why we see this pursuit of fame and this notion of fame over and over again in Beowulf.